Hi folks, this is Roger here again. Welcome to part 2 of setting up WordPress. In this specific part, we're going to go back in and reconfigure some of the specifics, the basic setups for setting up your WordPress for Google Sitemaps. We're going to go through of uploading the optimized template that we have to be used for the sites, set it up for sharing one-way backlinks and things like that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to log into our WordPress blog that we set up. We're going back to the Susan's Reviews website. We're going to go to the domain and we're going to type in the domain name and then wp-admin. That gets us to the administration page. Now we have to remember the username and password that we set up. The previous steps to set up the passwords to set up the blog. So once we get those in and log in, we can say, yeah, we'll remember. Whoops. Typed in too many characters. We'll try it again. Yeah, that looks better. Now what we're going to go to is the dashboard, which is the basic overview of WordPress. And now this version, we're looking at version 2.71. I don't go to version 2.84 just yet, just because my templates haven't been tested on it yet. But 2.71 is the current shipping version for most versions of Fantastico, and it's at least that one on the Teamwork Revolution website. So the first thing we're going to do is just do a quick overview. Now we're looking at the post menu here. These menus on the left, open and close. To give you the sub menus, post is where you edit the individual posts. Media I rarely ever use. I won't go over it in this installation. Links is where you would add and remove links that usually go up on the blog roll. Pages is where we do most of the stuff with the small business website hosting. Comments is where you add and remove and manage the contents. But the things that we're going to look at settings and appearance. But now that we've logged in and everything, the first thing I always do is to go in and remove the posts. This because there's a blank WordPress post to begin with. So we go into Hello World. We're just going to click on delete it, take care of it, and it's gone. Same thing with the pages. We want to get rid of all the default ones. So we'll go in and edit it and delete it. Okay. So now that we've just gone and done that, what we want to do is to upload a template. So we're going to switch over to our FTP program, and using the FTP information we set up when we set up the domain on the web host. Go back here and we can look at it if we need to. Go back to control panel, look at the add-on domains, and we scroll down to our domain and we'll look at our username right there. That's the name we want to FTP with, as well as the password we use to set up the domain. So once we've done that, we can use our favorite FTP program. I like to use FileZilla, and we log in to our server. Notice that up here it's connected to TRW. That's TWR. That's the host name that I set up in my server. And here we're using the small business website hosting package. This is the package that we've downloaded from the website, and we've unzipped it, and we're looking at this directory there. We've unzipped that directory we've downloaded, and we're looking at this WordPress folder right here. Now on this side, the FTP program FileZilla, we're looking at this is what our basic setup once we've logged into the FTP program of our website. So we want to go into the public HTML directory. This is where all of our websites are stored, where all of our files for our WordPress blogs and things like that. So we double click on the public FTP, and you'll notice some files for the basic the main domain on the web server, but we want to look at the ones we've just set up. Notice the one we set up earlier was susansreviews.com. So we want to go inside of that one, and you'll notice there's a whole bunch of files and folders in here. Okay, so the first one we're going to be adding, we're just going to open up this WordPress one here. We're going to take all of these files, these 3 files right here. Now the WordPress content is going to replace this version, but these 2 we're going to use at a later date. So we're going to take this WordPress content and drag this whole thing into it. Now it's going to take a little bit to upload it, So I'm going to go ahead and pause this video while this uploads, and I'm going to return to you just shortly. Okay, so if all of your files have uploaded to the web server, what we want to do is to, before we close completely out of this program, we want to go back up to the root of our domain. So the last directory you should see in this little directory indicator up here is the domain name. We want to take these two folders that we uploaded, the WP files and the WP photos, and we want to change the read-write privileges on them to make them fully accessible. Read, write, and execute all permissions across the board. And we say OK on that, and we're done FTPing our files up to our web server. So we can close out of that program, and we'll go back to our WordPress manager here, the editor in the background, and now we're going to go to Appearance and apply some of the files that we have uploaded. So we go to the Appearance folder here and we look at the themes. Click on Themes, and we have added one called Blocks, and that's the one we want to put into place. We've set this up so that it's optimized for a banner rotator and things like that. Already with the Teamwork Revolution, I can show you how to get rid of that. Already with the correct SEO optimized parts to it and everything, we'll just activate this. And so now if we look real quickly at the site, we can see it has our new layout and stuff on it, which is all optimized for SEO.